Welcome back. I'm Uday Pratap Singh. You're joining us on Newsx. Preparations are in full swing in Imphal, Manipur for Prime Minister Modi's likely visit to the state. This marks PM Modi's first visit since the ethnic violence that broke out between the Kuki and Meitei communities in May 2023. PM's visit will be focusing on reviewing the security situation and relief efforts in Manipur. The visit comes at a critical time as Manipur awaits stability. Following the engagement in Churchandpur, the Prime Minister will return to Imphal for a reported public meet at Kangla Fort. Beautification work is in full swing at Kangla Fort in Imphal. Around 15 to 20,000 people are expected to attend PM Modi's public meeting at Kangla Fort. In Churchandpur, Prime Minister Modi will address a public meeting at the Peace Ground there. Major Gigi Dwivedi, Strategic Affairs Analyst, is live with us. Major Dwivedi, how important is this upcoming visit of the Prime Minister going to be for Manipur and for peace?
Well, Uday, definitely is going to be important visit. It's a very significant development, and we all know that Manipur has been on the boil for last about 28 months, and Prime Minister visit ultimately is fructifying, could have been even earlier, and I think such visits are, they do a change at situation on the ground, and I recall I was the GOC in 2004, 2006. Even that time, Manipur was in on the boil, and Prime Minister Manmohan Singh had come, and that did make a lot of difference because there's a political intent is conveyed, there's a coordination between the different agencies, people get assured, and there is definitely it conveys a message that the country or the highest leadership in the country is involved. And now this visit, in fact, I would say definitely will make huge difference on the ground because today the situation is that two communities are absolutely in state of animosity. There's a huge divide, and the state has suffered enormously economically on the human angle, and so this visit also comes at a point when things are beginning to move forward. I mean, there is a state of fait accompli, and now it appears because only last week the Cookie organization they have re-signed the suspension of operation agreement, and they also now for road is fully open. NH2 it was some blockage were there at Kangpopi. Also, the groups have now assured that they will be depositing arms. I think all these positive developments that are taking place with Prime Minister Modi visit, this will get further impetus, and also it gives the Prime Minister first-hand view. And all I can say is that visit is going to make definite difference. Is going to be significant, and things will move forward. And as I feel that this visit will help in bringing stability and also certain amount of relief to the people who have suffered. So all I can say is that visitors come, it's a very good development, and we definitely see things changing for better. And some of us who have been in Manipur, who have Manipur very close to heart, we really wish that things improve and state comes back into this stability and normalcy. Uday.
All right, more breaking news, in fact, now coming in ahead of the proposed visit by Prime Minister Modi to Manipur is first since the ongoing ethnic conflict in the state began in May 2023. The ruling alliance MLAs have been told by Governor Ajay Bhalla to engage with their constituencies to minimize tensions before such a visit. One of the MLAs said that we discussed the PM's visit over breakfast. The governor asked us to see that there is a peaceful atmosphere and the PM returns happy. Nibir Deka is joining us for more on this story. Nibir, ruling alliance MLAs have met the governor of the state. What was discussed?
Well, this is all part of the upcoming visit by the Prime Minister, and as a result of that, the MLAs have also met the governor because remember, Manipur is under the president's rule right now, and the governor is head of the administration. And as a result of that, the governor has met all the ruling alliance MLAs and all the MLAs because of one particular reason, that is to take a stock of whatever that is happening in their own constituencies. And as per sources, the MLAs have also been advised to play a very proactive role in terms of managing the people and also the overall ground situation in their particular constituency ahead of the likely visit of the Prime Minister. So overall, the entire state is looking forward to visit the Prime Minister. Remember, the Prime Minister is visiting for the first time ever since the violent clashes broke out in May 2023, and the central government has been on top of Manipur in terms of dealing with the security situation, which was a big challenge for the government, and secondly also to rehabilitate those displaced people, and a rehabilitation plan and a peace plan has already been put forward. And the Prime Minister's visit comes at a very crucial time when a transition has happened from violence towards peace, and this is a very crucial time, and his presence will definitely boost not just the political leadership but also the administrative aspect of Manipur, wherein all the officials as well as the bureaucrats will also feel confident and more inspired to work for a peaceful solution in the state.
Absolutely. In fact, Dr. P.K. Mishra is also with us now, additional DG BSF. Dr. P.K. Mishra, ruling alliance MLAs being asked to speak to their constituents, being asked to ensure that there are tensions minimized before such a high-profile visit. Important meetings are taking place in the precursor of this visit, isn't it, Dr. Mishra? This is, of course, an important visit, the first by Prime Minister Modi since the tension broke, and also a visit which could bring about lasting peace to the area.
Yes, Uday Pratap. In fact, Mr. Ajay Bhalla, after spending about from 2nd to 7th, he was at Delhi. He spoke to in MHA also, and after going back to Imphal, he had a meeting with 20 MLAs, and he requested them to go back to that constituency and ensure that during PM's visit on 13th, that peace will remain. Peace must remain. And in fact, I spoke to Churachandpur. Few leaders of Churachandpur today I spoke, and they are really happy. They are awaiting. In fact, I will let you know that from Kankopi, all the Kukijo community, society, civil society groups, they are also moving. They are going to Churachandpur to attend the public meeting of Prime Minister, and all Kuki community there in Churachandpur, they are really happy. I spoke to them. They told, yes, what is our demand? That demand will come later on. That will be addressed later on. But what Prime Minister is going to speak at Churachandpur, they are awaiting definitely. And then, of course, PM is coming from Mizoram. He's landing straight at Churachandpur, Mizoram. And from Churachandpur, after the public meeting, after meeting the Kuki communities, then he will take off from there direct to Kangla Port. And in Kangla Port, he will be having a public meeting with mighty groups. And he has, in fact, governor has asked no MLAs will be sitting on the dais. All will be there in the VVIP tent, and they will not be on the dais along with the Prime Minister. In fact, both the groups, Cookies and Mighties, they are now awaiting, in fact, to see the Prime Minister coming to Manipur after 28 months. In fact, PM's visit will definitely bring long-lasting peace, and both sides definitely they have calmed down. And the best part of it, last week with Kukijo community meeting at Delhi in MHA,
yes,
this had resulted in opening of the new NH2. Also, it has been opened, and I hope PM will definitely try to cement the trust factor between Kuki and the other mighty group, and definitely the conflict resolution will come. And he is going at a time. In fact, the governor tried his best to calm down, and the political dialogue has started, and peace will be definitely coming. And peace, and this main thing is PM is going to meet the displaced people there at both Churachandpur and also at Kangla Port, and there will be some decision by the Prime Minister for rehabilitation package of the displaced people. That is the best part of it, which the Honorable Prime Minister will be doing there. And all the people who are displaced and they are still remaining in the camp, they are hoping what Honorable Prime Minister will be giving to them on 13th after reaching both at Churachandpur and at Imphal. In fact, I have spoken to few camps. I want to mention the camp. I spoke to few security camps in Imphal, and they told Kangla Port is coming up nicely, and all the security arrangements has already been done from today onwards. and people are ready. Both whole mighty groups and their MLAs and the people will be coming, and they are coming from Ukhrul, they are coming from Tamilung, they are coming from Kankopi, they are coming from Palel, they are coming from More, from
Right.
every place people are coming
Absolutely,
and they want to
absolutely. In fact,
listen.
we're getting more breaking news now coming in. IIT Manipur has inaugurated the Texmin IITM Mining Center of Excellence at its Mantripuri campus, supported by the Ministry of Science and Technology and IIT Dhanbad. So, a lot of development works, of course, being inaugurated ahead of Prime Minister Modi's visit. This is news coming in from IIT Manipur. What can you share with us, Nibir, about this new center?
Well, it is a news Texmin IITM mining center, which is part of the IIT Manipur, and this has been supported by the Ministry of Science and Technology and IIT Dhanbad. So they have inaugurated the new mining center of excellence, and this has been done in the Mantripuri campus, which is in Imphal. So this is indeed a positive development, because ever since the violent clashes broke out, a lot of the schools and colleges had to be stopped. But now we see that more and more developments coming in, and these are very positive developments today, because the opening up of these kind of specific educational institutions and educational setup is definitely going to boost the morale of the students firstly, and secondly, the last 2 years, lot of the education was withheld due to the prevailing situation in the state. But with the opening up of these kind of campuses and these kind of institutions, such as the mining institute which has been opened in IIT Manipur, it will definitely be providing an edge to the students. And remember, when the clashes broke out, a lot of students had to flee their hostels, and there was a lot of problems which has happened. And the now the focus has been very different. Now the focus has been on education, restoration of connectivity, and a lot of these things which will bring which will bring a positive side to Manipur. And also very important is that the youth are not missing out on their much needed education, and this has been the focus of the government, both at the central and the state level. And as a result of that, we see these kind of positive developments coming in.
Okay, let me in fact quickly join Major Mohammad Ali Shah, defense expert as well. Major Shah, Manipur citizens are hopeful for more development projects that Prime Minister Modi will bring to the state, and also perhaps a roadmap for peace for the region as well. Major Shah, can you hear me? Look, I think we've lost him. All right, let me in fact quickly go back across to you, Major Dwivedi, at this point. Major Dwivedi, at the end of the day, of course, the road to peace runs through more development projects as well. We are seeing what's happening with IIT Manipur. Perhaps more development projects as well for the citizens of Manipur will make them see reason. And this is, and show them what the youth is missing out on because of this strife that the state has been witnessing since the last few weeks and months.
Absolutely, Uday. In fact, I wish to share that youth of Manipur are very talented, and they require all the support to realize the potential. And as I said, state have been in this state of turmoil off and on. I think the maximum suffering was by the youth. And today, you see, I stay in the NCR capital, and you see the people from Manipur. They are in all the avenues in Delhi and NCR. So therefore, I think when you bring the development institutes like IITM, or you bring in the sports activity, you bring in the IT, all this is very, very important for the young people. And as I said, they are the one who have suffered maximum. Secondly, Uday, also you see, we should not forget our look is policy. In my time, in 2005, the work started on Jiribam, Tupel, Leh, Fall, and this More railway line. Now, this also is a very big impetus, because once you connect up the state, then automatic development takes place. And the third very important point is, assurance, stability, peace. How will peace come today? It is between the two communities. Once you bring the two communities together, automatically you find that peace process will start. And once the peace process starts, there is a certain degree of normalcy, obviously, then development is part of that whole phenomena. All I can say is that youth should be given the highest priority. We need to open more institutions in this arena, and especially education, sports, and some concrete effort is need to be made to ensure that the kind of loss of affection, faith, trust between cookies and Maitis that needs to be worked upon, and I'm sure that will be one of the major focus area of Prime Minister. And last point is security. Uday, we should not forget what is sensitivity of Manipur. You see what's happening in Myanmar, the shadow of Chinese looming large. I'm sure this also will be a very important, because for security of any state or any region, internal stability is very important, and that's what I think will be the key agenda of the Prime Minister visit. And we hope that Manipur is in for better days. New dawn is set to, figure out or set to dawn on the state of Manipur.
What needs to be, though, the follow-up to the Prime Minister's visit? Of course, this is a very keenly awaited visit, Dr. Mishra. What then needs to be the follow-up after that visit?
One thing I'll add, that Honorable PM is taking up from Kangla Fort to a British airfield just in front of Mantri Pokhari, where the IIT, he will be opening the new IIT there itself at Mantri Pokhari. I came to know it is just in front of Mantri Pokhari. But after PM's visit, definitely, particularly number one will be to look after the interest of displaced person. First of all, the interest of displaced person, what he is announcing, how this displaced person will be rehabilitated, that will be the first and foremost thing the government and the governor and all the MLAs, they must have to look into this. Then the security must prevail, and particularly the border guards, border security with Myanmar, that has to be looked into, and the fencing which is continuing now, that should progress as quickly as possible. And the political dialogue, number one, which Mr. Ajay Bhalla has started, the political dialogue between both the communities, though it will take time, but in fact, PM's visit, definitely it will be a game changer. And this dialogue must start, and everywhere, as PM is going to both Churachandpur and also Imphal. So, Mr. Ajay Bhalla must try his best to bring both the groups together, and he should involve these Naga leaders to mediate between these two groups. The dialogue will definitely start, and dialogue will definitely continue, and there will be a result of this, and the trust, the cement of trust must come after PM's visit, and particularly the conflict resolution will be there, and I hope definitely the state will look into the peace coming slowly to Manipur. After PM's visit, for the last 6 months, we find, in fact, there were no such big incidents, and violence were much less. And of course, there will be some small incidents are there, but that will continue. But after PM's visit, definitely we have to see to this, if this particular incidents, and first and foremost thing is political dialogue, trust deficit must go, buffer zones. This requires to be definitely removed from National Highway and while going to Churachandpur and while going to More also. These buffer zones must have to go, because if Maitis Maitis and cookies, they come together,
yes,
they will have a dialogue, political dialogue. The buffer, there is no need of a buffer zone.
Okay.
And the trust will definitely come, and rehabilitation. Main factor is rehabilitation and bringing back the weapons, those who are looted from the armory and which came from Myanmar.
Right.
That has to be seized.
Right.
And in fact,
all right, we have more breaking news, in fact, now coming in from Imphal. Security forces and Manipur police have apprehended 2 militants from prescribed outfits, Pre-Pak and KCP PWG, for their involvement in extortion activities. Seizures and arrests continue in the state. Nibir Deka is live with us on this story. Nibir, take us through this action that has been taken in Imphal.
part of the security operations being done by the forces. And if you see that the kind of ammunitions and arm ammunition seized tells you the intensity of the security challenge in Manipur. And the Manipur police, along with the Central Security Forces, apprehended 2 militants who were involved with the PREPAC and the KCP PWG for their involvement in extortion activities. And this is the reason these two have been picked up. Lately, there were a lot of reports emerging from the state regarding extortion, and if you see the last 1 month or so, the most of the operations have been done against these extortion activities, wherein people have been picked up from different parts of the state, not just in the valley but as well as in the hills, wherein they have resorted to extortion. And if you see the kind of seizures which have been made, mostly cash and also arms and ammunition, shows you the intensity of the security challenge. Although in the last 6 months the security situation has improved in the state, wherein we have not seen an armed conflict or an armed violence.
Right.
However, what needs to be understood here is the kind of arms and ammunitions that have been circulated in the state, and that is a big challenge, and
Okay.
that is what
Major
is.
Mohammad Ali Shah is back with us now on the broadcast, I'm told. Major Shah, if you can hear me now, what do you make, of course, of, this heightened security in the state ahead of Prime Minister's visit? This action also now being taken by security agencies in Imphal.
Right, Uday, if you can hear me. So the Prime Minister's visit to Manipur was much awaited, and it's a very, very positive development. It's a very good sign that he's going to Manipur. He would be going to Chachanpur and Kangla Fort, and he would be arresting people over there. Now, Chachanpur is more Kuki dominated, and Kangla Fort, the Sanamai Mandir is there, who have their own god. Pakanba is a god. And it's mainly so he'll be going to Maite dominated areas and Kuki dominated areas as well. And of course, the development in Manipur. So, firstly, for development, there has to be peace. And I see that there is going to be a very, very good balm on the effect of a lot of wounded hearts in Manipur who had a lot of major grouse that the Prime Minister hasn't spoken about Manipur. He hasn't visited there. Probably people were thinking that he doesn't care for us. I think he cares. Everyone cares for Manipur. In fact, Manipur is a state which has helped, which has contributed a great deal in nation building, in fact. So when the Prime Minister goes there himself, it conveys a loud and clear message, and I presume it will lead to a lot of changes. Positive changes are going to be made over there. Already preparations are on, and heavy security, of course, which is a must. One cannot let your guard down at all. So most certainly the heavy security arrangements are there in Manipur as well. So I think it's going to be a very, very good thing for the country.
The heightened security is needed, isn't it, Major General Dwivedi, at this crucial juncture?
Absolutely, Uday, because the kind of security, internal, I would say factionalism and number of groups that are operating, there will be certain elements, which will like to derail the process now that is the ongoing process of peace and the way the things are moving. So one has to be very careful because there are number of agencies or number of agents are there, especially there could be certain foreign elements who would not like the situation to improve. So one has to be very careful, and I'm sure there will be sanitization will be done, area will be cleaned out, and that is very important because the visit has to go absolutely as a game changer.
All right. My thanks to all of our guests for joining us on the broadcast. Also thanks to Nibir, who joined us earlier as well. Meanwhile, the Chinese ambassador to India, Xu Feihong, has provided an update on the agreements between Prime Minister Modi and President Xi on the sidelines of the SCO summit, stating that direct flights will be resuming soon as well. All right, taking a short break, much more on the other side.